The Isdal Woman Mystery, 1970, Norway. Discovery in the Valley of Death. It was a gray, bitterly cold Sunday, November 29, 1970, when a father and his two young daughters hiked through Isdalen, a steep remote valley near Bergen known to locals as Death Valley. It got that name because of past suicides and hiking accidents. But what they were about to find went beyond anything human imagination could prepare for. Amid the rocks, they spotted something strange. A dark shape, surrounded by a faint smell of smoke and burning flesh. When the father approached, he froze. It was a woman, naked, charred beyond recognition. Her body was contorted in a disturbing pose, her arms clenched near her torso, her legs twisted. Around her were the remnants of a campfire, partly melted plastic bottles, fragments of clothing, a burned notebook, and an empty bottle of St. Halvard liqueur. Police sealed off the area. Investigators noted something immediately odd. It looked staged. The woman's jewelry had been neatly placed beside her, not stolen, not hidden. Someone had taken time to remove every label from her clothing, scrape identifying marks from her belongings, and destroy her fingerprints with fire. Whoever she was, she didn't want to be found, or someone didn't want her found. The woman with many faces. The next day, investigators found 2 suitcases at Bergen railway station's left luggage office, matching the luggage key found near the scene. Inside, the mystery deepened. There were wigs, perfume bottles, elegant clothing, a notepad with strange coded notes, prescription drugs with no labels, and several passports, each with a different name, but the same woman. She was Fenella Lorch in one, Elizabeth Lienhauer in another, Vera Jarl in a third. All fake, all tied to recent hotel stays across Norway and Europe. When police traced her trail, it became clear. She'd been traveling across Europe for weeks, moving between hotels in Bergen, Stavanger, and Trondheim, sometimes alone, sometimes meeting men. At each hotel, she changed her name, her clothes, her accent. Sometimes she said she was Belgian, sometimes South African. Sometimes she spoke fluent French, other times perfect German. Hotel staff said she always asked for rooms with balconies or sea views. She carried herself with elegance, but tension. One maid recalled, she seemed on edge as if she was waiting for something to happen. The notepad in her suitcase was sent to cryptographers who decoded the seemingly random strings of letters and numbers. It turned out to be a travel log, shorthand for cities, hotel check-ins and check-outs. For example, 029B, Oslo, 29th, Bergen. It wasn't spy code. It was a pattern of movement. But it proved she'd been traveling with purpose. She was organized, methodical, deliberate. Yet her reason remained invisible. The theories. The autopsy found she'd taken about 50 sleeping pills, a massive dose, along with traces of alcohol and soot in her lungs, meaning she was still breathing as the fire started. Her death was officially ruled a suicide, but most investigators disagreed. Why destroy her identity? Why carry coded notes, wigs, and multiple passports? Why meet unknown men? Norway, in 1970, was a quiet country, but it was also a key location during the Cold War, near NATO bases and strategic shipping routes. Some police officers believed she was a spy, possibly connected to Soviet intelligence or a European agency. Others thought she might have been involved in illegal trade or arms smuggling. Even her dental work was unusual, materials not common in Scandinavia, possibly of Middle Eastern or Eastern European origin. The case made headlines across Europe, but no one came forward. Interpol's inquiries found no match. She simply didn't exist. Years passed, and the story faded into legend. But investigators never forgot her. In 2016, Norwegian journalists and forensic scientists reopened the case using modern DNA and isotope analysis. The results were fascinating. Her teeth and bones suggested she had grown up in Central Europe, possibly near the German-Czech border. They even reconstructed her face, elegant, symmetrical, with dark hair and strong cheekbones. The image shocked viewers across Europe. Hundreds of people called in tips. Some thought they recognized her. None could prove it. To this day, no identity has ever been confirmed. The woman without a name. The Isdal woman was buried in Bergen in February 1971. No family attended. Only a few policemen and journalists stood in the snow as a priest read a short prayer. Her grave marker reads, "Her memory will live on with us." The unknown woman, found in Isdalen, November 1970. Half a century later, she remains Europe's most haunting cold case. A ghost of the Cold War. A woman who traveled under many names, but left behind none. Some people disappear by accident. Others vanish on purpose. Fires go out. Footsteps fade. Names disappear. But stories like hers, they never stop whispering. If this mystery gave you chills, give it a like. Share it with someone who loves true stories. And don't forget to subscribe to TimeStory, where every mystery hides a heartbeat, and every truth is colder than you think.